What's up, everybody? Welcome to IGN Game Scoop. I'm your host, Damon Hatfield. With me today is Greg Miller.
Scoop!
Mitch Dyer is here.
Scoop!
And Andrew Goldfarb is also here. Is this correct? Is today, August 6th, 2012, the first time anyone from Microsoft ever acknowledged publicly that there is a new Xbox coming?
It is. And it's funny, I was talking about this on Friday about how I thought it was weird that this hadn't happened yet.
Yeah, we did.
Well, you're a little Nostradamus. Congratulations.
Yeah, but this is the first time.
What has happened is a Microsoft employee, his name is Brian Hall. He's a general manager of Windows Live. He was doing an interview where he's talking about the new Outlook.com, and he's talking about their upcoming devices that will be using Windows 8, yes? And he's dropping names like new version of Office, new Windows Phone, and the new Xbox.
He's dropping names all over the place.
Look at me, I'm a star.
Yeah, you say he's the general manager of Windows Live.
I say that.
For how long?
I say that.
We'll see how
long that lasts.
Really? You think, oh,
I was surprised this happened. I thought this would eventually happen.
Did he backpedal as soon as he said it?
No, they just didn't acknowledge
no.
He runs out of the room.
The interview didn't even like...
He didn't
follow
follow up.
Yeah.
Surprised me, exactly. I was surprised no one followed up. But yeah, he just said it and then they moved on. So, I don't know. And we reached out to Microsoft for comment, they wouldn't say anything. I mean, they
Shocking.
He's never heard of this man.
Yeah. They've disappeared him already. They knew a guy.
They disappeared him.
Isn't that what it's called?
I like it, if it isn't.
That works.
I like it, fine.
So, obviously, not a big secret, we know the Xbox 720.
We've seen the development kit.
Yeah.
We've seen the development kit.
The job listing.
We know that it's codenamed Durango, but that's really interesting. This is the first time Microsoft has ever publicly acknowledged that they're making new Xbox, and it is sort of off the cuff, sort of like what we were talking about on the show last week.
The worst kept secret outside of all of Sony's secrets.
Yeah, so why isn't Sony talking about the PlayStation 4?
They're waiting till they have a final name for it and a final design for it, and then they're going to let somebody leak that.
Well, we don't think
they're
Orbis
gonna
is going to stick.
Yeah, I do not think you're going to see
I
the
really
Sony
hope it's
Orbis
called
out
That
there.
would be amazing.
I think you just need to get some interviews going and see if they'll just...
Slip them up?
Yeah.
You know how when a new system launches, they'll try and like Super Mario 64 for N64. If it was called Orbis, how could they tie in like God of Orbis?
God of Orbis.
God of Orbis. Love it.
Okay, there's a screenshot that was posted in Ubisoft forums that could be a new Prince of Persia game. So
hold on to your hats. This is an exciting announcement. I didn't think we'd ever see this franchise again.
This is the screenshot. Let's take a look at it here. Now, what's going on? This was just posted in an official Ubisoft forum. Someone's like, oh, it's a screenshot of a reboot of Prince of Persia.
Yeah, and it was just some guy. Like, if you go to his forum history, he's been on that forum for years, just posting like normal forum things. Hey guys, I'm on the internet. And all of a sudden, he's just teasing throughout the day that, oh, we're going to see a leak on Monday. Just kidding, here it is. And he just posts this screenshot of what looks like Assassin's Creed Egypt.
Yeah. And the dude looks like a big buff Kratos.
Like a big dumb Kratos guy. Not a fan.
The
how this guy looks.
screenshot, there's a caption on it, right? Like actually on the screen, and it's like
Yeah,
POP
02. Yeah.
Prince of Persia 02.
It's running at a stunning 13 frames per second.
Wowza. Dang, the future.
Did you mention already? It looks very Assassin's Creed-ish.
Yeah. Just in terms of like, hey, there's a crowd there, and it's just all Ubisoft games are starting to have that look where they all just kind of start to look and feel similar, and it's not surprising if this leak is true.
Yeah, it's probably on Anvil Next, probably running that Assassin's Creed engine.
They already rebooted Prince of Persia in 2008.
Did not go well though.
No,
Did not.
It had
go
people.
well.
It had
Well,
people that
it
liked
went
it.
critically well.
Hillary Goldstein.
It
went okay. Yeah. And
Yeah.
they tried to reboot it again, and that's where the name Zero comes from. Prince of Persia Zero was supposed to be like a modern day reboot.
Which is like these images that came out before E3.
Yeah, those are supposedly from a teaser
we don't
trailer.
know if this is correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is supposed to be a more modern take on Prince of Persia.
Sure, and visually those look kind of similar.
Yeah, so I don't know. This screenshot exists.
Yep.
But the Prince of Persia movie came out in 2010.
Right.
And there was a game to go along with that, right?
Yes.
Kind of. It was not
It was
officially
the same
linked.
title, right?
Yeah. No. So the game was
Sands of Time.
Forgotten Sands, because it was a sequel to Sands of Time.
Yes.
It wasn't actually connected to the movie, but like visually it was the exact same thing, and it came out alongside it. So yeah, it was kind of the movie tie-in.
It was back to traditional Prince of Persia mechanics.
Yeah.
None of this light seed BS. Nolan North can't die. Get out of here.
And this character looks exactly like Jake
Friend of the
Gyllenhaal.
show, Kari Walgren.
Yeah.
The princess in that game. I don't know. It seems like Ubisoft doesn't know what to do with this franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems really indecisive, right? Because this is the third reboot since 08 that we've heard of.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What's the one on Xbox Live Arcade? Prince of Persia.
Classic.
Classic.
And it was just a remake of the original.
Yeah.
That one's really good.
That game was awesome.
Is it on PSN too?
Yep.
Check that one out.
Speed run that thing in like an hour.
Greg, there's a couple of collections coming to that PlayStation 3 there.
There are, finally.
There's a God of War collection called God of War Saga.
Because they've already put out the God of War collection.
I know.
So they can't call it the God of War collection. It's got to be
But the
what's
God
left?
of War collection was just 2 PSP games, right?
Yeah. And then they did do, well, no, they did God of War collection, which, okay, so there was God of War collection, which was God of War 1 and 2. Then they did God of War Origins, which was the 2 PSP games.
Okay.
Now they're putting those together with God of War 3 in the God of War Saga.
So it's all of them. It's every God of War.
Now it's every God of War
That's
game.
pretty awesome,
It's
actually.
good, yeah. 5 games on 1 disc is good. For at least $29.99.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
didn't-
that's the thing. All the wording in this is kind of hazy. It's like all these games are starting at $30. It's like, well,
hang
are
on.
they
Yeah,
going
yeah,
up?
yeah. Yeah.
And they don't say 1 disc, so it'll be interesting to see if there are. Because like God of War 3, I remember almost filled up a Blu-ray if I'm
Right.
wrong. So
Yep.
I mean, how are we gonna show all this stuff in there?
Yeah.
Get a whole giant sleeve of them, a good old box set. Remember those?
Yeah.
Get some exclusive content though, right? There's some other jazz in there.
Yeah,
Then they're
exclusive
doing,
bonus content, they don't say what the content is.
yeah, and they're doing the same thing with Infamous.
Infamous collection as well. Infamous 1 and 2 and
Festival of Blood.
Festival of Blood.
And then I think there's extra missions are on there and additional character costumes. So all those GameStop pre-orders you didn't get before.
additional weapon styles too.
Oh, yeah.
What are the weapon styles?
The Gigawatt Blades. These are all pre-order bonuses that they put out a long time ago.
Okay.
Man,
The
Festival of Blood
thing
is
I
so
want to
good.
know, of course, is are there new trophy lists for all these?
Yeah, that
Is there
hasn't
just
been-
one giant trophy list? I'll jump back and play. I'll do Infamous 1 and 2 again.
Did you just say you liked Festival?
Yeah,
of Blood?
Festival of Blood was so good.
I like
wow.
Festival of Blood a lot. Yeah.
The
yeah.
fastest selling PSN game of
Yeah.
all time.
You reviewed that. You gave that one a 7.5.
Colin did.
Colin.
Yeah, he wasn't as impressed with it as I was.
So that's like the Undead Nightmare thing where they added
Right.
zombies
Yeah.
or added vampires,
Yeah, vampires,
to a game
yeah.
that previously didn't have monsters.
Sure, yeah, I
and
mean-
other supernatural stuff.
It was, it's one of those things that I think is interesting, and I'd like to see more games do. Like, I like add-on DLC that's
Yeah.
telling a different story, and this was set in
Yeah.
the universe, and it made sense. Zeke was there, basically telling a Halloween story to a girl in a bar trying to pick her up, and so then you went and played through that. And like, I'm down with that. I'd love more stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'd love to get more content rather than have to wait the 2 years for the next sequel and go from there.
It did something that DLC rarely does too, where it's like, here's a bunch of new powers that are completely unrelated
sure.
to everything that you know about this character. And it's super fun.
You bit people, Damon.
Yeah. Ate them alive.
It's gross. It was a good episode of True Blood last night.
Yeah, I like that. I like that last one.
Were there electricity powers in?
How much
a little
nudity?
bit. A little bit.
Yeah, actually.
All right, well,
I haven't seen Newsroom though, or Breaking Bad, so don't ruin that for me.
both were great.
Breaking Bad is very good.
I figured it, and Breaking Bad's awesome.
Breaking Bad had a knife party in it
Really?
last night. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so behind.
Before we run to lunch, let's answer this email from Dominar Rigel. Which is a pretty epic name.
Email him back and ask if we're pronouncing that right. He can read it on his podcast.
Okay. He
Domino
says,
Scoop.
I'm a long-time listener. You know, it's just one of these days we're going to have people saying, I'm a long-time viewer.
Should we? Do you want to acknowledge that this is something new that we're doing this?
Well, but people are watching it. I mean,
They don't know.
They're watching going, wait a minute.
Something's
going
different.
on here?
Something is different about this podcast. What if they're listening on a Friday and they didn't? They
That's
didn't
true.
watch
Well, we explained it last week, but I mean,
All right, fine,
you give the...
They had their chance.
Who do you think we need to address? The longtime GameScoop fans or the new people watching the show?
it. Doesn't matter, everybody.
Okay.
Damon's a rain cloud. He doesn't want to have fun.
Dominar asks, will people be able to buy a digital copy of Halo 4 from the Xbox Marketplace at launch?
No, that's not going to happen. No. Microsoft has never done day and date digital retail releases. Gears of War 2, I think, was the closest they came, and even then it was like 6 months apart.
Yeah, it blows my mind that like for all of the things Xbox Live gets right, that's the one thing they haven't gotten. Yet.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Sony's been doing a bit of that on PSN, right?
Yeah,
On
yeah.
Vita, every Vita game.
Yeah,
is
yeah, but nothing on Xbox.
And even Nintendo now is starting with New Super Mario Brothers 2 this month.
What's
It's
going
day-and-date
on?
Digital, like.
We'll have to reach out to Brian Hall at Microsoft and ask if the
Yeah,
next
he'll tell us.
Xbox is going to have day and date digital releases of all their big games.
It's not Brian. He talks about everything.
I know.